Hello, my name is Ted Coates, and today I want to talk to you about two words, courage and sacrifice. First, I want to thank Reverend Dr. Douglas Sands and Reverend Dr. Barbara Sands, along with the Preachers Hall of Fame, for including me in the award ceremony this year. When I first saw this beautiful Leadership Awards plaque with the picture of Harriet Tubman and Martin Luther King Jr. on it, my name mentioned that close to these two people of such courage and sacrifice, I felt unworthy to be mentioned in their company, which led me to ask myself if I would have the courage to step up as they did at that time. And I found myself not being able to confirm that I actually would have. The two words, again, that came to mind were courage and sacrifice. Webster's dictionary defines courage as the mental or moral strength to venture, persevere, and withstand danger, fear, and difficulty. It defines sacrifice as to suffer the loss of, give of, renounce, endure, or destroy, especially for an idea, belief, or an end. And of course, I have to add to those definitions. My definition from a biblical sense is trusting God even when my doubts and fears want to be in charge. I found some comfort in the scripture of John 16:33. I have said these things to you, that in me you may find peace in the world. In the world you may have tribulations, but take heart, I have overcome the world. I found peace in this because Harriet Tubman and Martin Luther King had done the heavy lifting, and they had overcome that world at that time. Thank God that we don't have to face what they had to face. But that doesn't mean that we can afford to fall asleep or become complacent. As Black Americans, we are faced with the very rights that Harriet and Martin had the courage to fight for, being threatened every day. We must not be silent, but find the courage to stand and act. Just to give you an example about creating a strategy, the United Auto Workers had a strike, and all the years that they've been having strikes, they had two factions that were working instead of one. This time around, they changed all of that, and they brought into all the two factions together to join one thing. And they, as you've heard in the news, have been very successful in reaching the goal that they had set. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about developing a strategy towards empowerment. And developing that strategy towards empowerment requires a comprehensive approach that addresses various aspects of community development and economic empowerment. Here are some steps and considerations to work synergistically towards empowerment. There are 7 of them. And number 1 is awareness and conscious consumerism. Understanding how and where you spend your money is crucial. Being aware of the economic power of the Black community and consciously supporting Black business that align with your values and contribute to community development is an essential point. Consider supporting Black-owned businesses and organizations that reinvest in the community. Did you know that the Black community in this country have contributed or have spending power of $1.6 trillion? That's what we are spending into the economy. Point number 2 is collaborative advocacy. Joining forces with like-minded individuals and organizations to advocate for change is crucial. Identifying key areas where improvements are needed, such as education, community development, and access to financial services. Form alliances and pressure the entities you support to financially invest in these areas and contribute to positive change. Number 3 is economic empowerment initiatives. Create or support initiatives that promote economic empowerment within the community. This can involve entrepreneurship training, access to capital for Black-owned businesses, and mentorship programs. Encouraging and supporting economic development within the community can lead to increased self-sufficiency and wealth creation. And it is important that we, even though these things have been said before, this may not be anything new, but we're not doing anything with it. I'm talking about now implementing these situations or strategies so that we can get a better results. Number 4 is political engagement. Engage with local and national politics to address systemic issues and promote policies that benefit the Black community. Support Black politicians who prioritize community development and represent the interests of their constituents. Encourage political participation and work towards electing representatives who are committed to equity and empowerment. Number 5 is collaborate with influential figures. Engage with Black sports stars, movie stars, performers to promote community investment. Encourage them to support Black-owned businesses and to use their influence to highlight the importance of economic empowerment within the community. Collaborate with them to establish initiatives that contribute to community development. Number 6 is real estate representation. This is something that's near and dear to my heart because after being in real estate for 50 years now, I've seen the racism in real estate over the years. And a lot of people like to think it's changed, but it's still there. We need to advocate for increased representation of Black real estate agents and professionals. Encourage Black sports stars, movie stars, and performers to work with Black agents and invest in properties within the community. By supporting Black professionals, you contribute to the wealth circulation within the community and create opportunities for economic empowerment. Every time I see where some movie stars brought or sold a $20 million house, I always wonder, was a Black agent involved in that transaction? These people need to have their conscious level raised so they understand that we as Black real estate people are capable of handling their property at that level. Number 7, education and skill development. Investing in education and skill development is crucial for long-term empowerment. Support initiatives that provide educational opportunities, scholarships, vocational training within the community, equipping individuals with the necessary skills and knowledge, empowers them to contribute to their own growth and the development of the community as well. Remember, empowerment is a collective effort that requires sacrifice. That's that word again. Determination, commitment, and a new mindset. By working together, supporting one another, and advocating for change, the Black community can build its own table of prosperity and create a brighter future for the community as a whole. The Bible speaks about obstacles to these strategies. In Matthew 9:37-38, it says, "Then he said to his disciples, 'The harvest is plentiful, but the laborers are few. Therefore, pray earnestly to the Lord of the harvest to send out laborers into his harvest.'" We have a problem within our own communities where there are too many of us who think that we have made it and that they don't need to participate. Anytime you're making it as a part of a group, that group is always going to be in jeopardy. There's always a chance that you can lose whatever it is that you've gained. So don't get it twisted. Because you have a good job and you might be a corporate job or whatever, and you have a big house and you're buying the cars you want, don't think that it can't all go away. America has been speaking all the time. Why have we as Black people not been listening? We have talked about all the ills of America towards people of color. We've defined systemic racism, inequality, and inequity. This starts in elementary education now and has reached the college level according to the latest decision by the not-so Supreme Court. I know that we must play in their system, but I call on every Black entity in America, sensible politicians, churches, and corporations to benefit from the money spent by African Americans to come together. Collaboration among various stakeholders, including community organizations, businesses, government entities, and individuals, is crucial for the driving of systemic change. Building partnerships, sharing resources, and working collectively towards common goals can amplify efforts and create a more significant impact. The progress that they claim that we have made is slowly being eroded away. Instead of moving forward, we are going into a circle. We're circling back to the same old battles again. Voter suppression, trying to take away our right to vote, stealing land from Black people in the South. It's the same old story, and we've heard it time and time again. And it's time to change the narrative there and do something different. We must build our own table by spending every dollar that we can with Black-owned businesses. We must organize the vote like our lives depend on it, because it does. I really don't know what else that could happen to Black people to get them to wake up and understand that we, from day one, have been under siege, and we continue to be under siege. And the only collective answer is for us to come together and work together. This is not about hating anyone. It's about loving us. Don't be fooled into thinking that other minorities are in the same boat that we are. They are organizing on their own behalf and spending their money with each other and within their communities. The dollar in the black community that comes in on Friday is gone by Monday. In all of these other, even Latino communities, the dollar turns over more times within their community than it does in our community. Solidarity and collaboration can exist between different groups, but it is also important to address the specific issues and work towards uplifting the black community. As I said before, there is no Calvary coming. We are the Calvary. There is no time to waste and no time to wait. Now is the time, and we are the people. I'd like to read you this poem by Dr. Benjamin E. Mays. I only have just a minute. Only 60 seconds in it. Forced upon me, can't refuse it. Didn't seek it, didn't choose it. But it's up to me to use it. I must suffer if I lose it. Give account if I abuse it. Just a tiny little minute, but eternity is in it. We have to take advantage of the time. There are so many things going on in this world with the wars and different countries and going on, and this one supporting that one, but we have to not be sucked away by these diversions. We have to keep our eye on the prize. And it's been a real pleasure to take part in this program. Courage and sacrifice is still very much needed today, especially when some of us have made more progress than others and are led to think that we have made it. Action is still required, and I pray that we wake up and utilize our gifts and resources. Our children's future depends on it. We need to stop allowing the government to push programs on us that were designed to fail from the onset. They develop programs that don't serve the people it needs to serve, and the people that it needs to serve usually don't qualify for the programs. May we continue to trust in God as we summon our courage and continue to sacrifice. Let us not stop here. The struggle continues, and may the rest of our days be the best of our days. Thank you, and have a good evening.